Project Bluebeam was a plan that had been designed to usher humanity into their new world. In order to reach their new world, there were 4 key objectives that had to be achieved. Firstly, the different faiths had to be abolished, and a world religion that was based upon the cult of man and the number of the beast would be created and intensely promoted by the mainstream media. Secondly, all national identities were to be removed so that the world government could easily take control. Thirdly, the marital fidelity and family model of today was to be steadily phased out so that the new family identities could be easily controlled by the world government, and all kinds of family affairs would therefore be managed under a totalitarian control system. And fourthly, all individual artistic and scientific works were to be suppressed and deviated, and then replaced with authorized kinds of artistry and sciences. Once these steps were brought into play, then natural disasters would seemingly take place in various geographic locations and be used to reveal facts about the true history of planet Earth that had been suppressed for many aeons, so that the faiths of the world could be entirely discredited. Complete social upheaval would occur because the perception of God that many individuals had would change as they had accepted the version of reality which had been presented to them. A breakdown of traditional belief systems and the human psyche would therefore become very widespread. With the psychological conditioning already having been completed because of how cultural creation and predictive programming are used consistently in films and television, most people had been prepared for a long time so they would accept the satanic agenda. Many had just watched the movie screens and continued to be spectators who would never become aware of the circus show that was being performed behind the scenes. A horror show that most could never truly comprehend. Project Bluebeam then performed an enormous cosmic show of trickery where 3-dimensional holograms were projected by using lasers. Yes, it was a science fiction film in real time in the skies above the planet Earth. Most UFO sightings that had been reported were really artificially generated, as they had been produced by using the Project Bluebeam technology. Such plans have been hidden from the public for a very long time. The secrecy was disturbing, as no one actually knew the truth. But how else were they going to covertly link the breakaway civilization to the overall control grid of planet Earth? They had been developing their plan for well over 70 years and had created a massive inversion of physical reality, so the beliefs of many individuals could be easily reprogrammed. Another aspect to Project Bluebeam was to merge all the religious teachings into one, so that only the satanic overlords could then speak to them. People could hear their version of God in every language and culture, as the demonic holograms spoke from the skies, which people believed was some kind of divine sign from the heavens, when the deception was actually being projected from the satellite transmissions themselves. Individuals heard voices in their heads as they beamed signals from the orbiting satellites that had been repeatedly stored and encrypted from the vast quantities of social media data that had been gathered for many years. After the fake alien invasion had been shown and the holographic projections had passed, advanced sciences were introduced and various types of free energy systems were displayed. They had been retrieved from crashed UFOs, which the seemingly heroic nations had destroyed to save humanity. But besides the scientific endeavours, there was also occult technology that was used to control the masses, as so many feared that another attack from the negatively based extraterrestrials would occur once again in the near future. Their plan was coming to completion, and the new world of occult technology had quickly formed, but they did not understand the power of other forces that were at work. Although they had their satanic agenda and intended to control every living thing on planet Earth, their plans would eventually fail. There were other levels at work that were not from the physical world and resonated far beyond linear space-time, in domains where the thoughts and influences of the satanic overlords had no effect. Because much higher vibrations were arising from humanity as they were starting to spiritually and psychologically develop, their plan could only last for a limited time until the last hurdle had been reached. After this occurred, all the contributors to the satanic agenda would fade into complete insignificance. Then humanity would leave behind their older traumatic worldview and be completely liberated. Many humans needed to feel the abuse of the old world so they could understand the darker elements in the human psyche and spiritually develop. Then a truly amazing new world could start to prosper that was free from the controls of the evil, hidden players. The new world is exciting, but before we get there, humans had to ride the storm and let the evil pass. This meant not getting attached to its dramas and not believing that any leaders were going to save us, as we had always been the ones who could save ourselves. Where in your life do you give your power away? Where do you neglect the internal self? Do you use your own power to create your dreams?